So last two apps that I made with cursor consumed around like 5 to 10 model queries. So I'm now at 147 queries total. Right now, moving on to cursor, let me open it. Okay, so the goal right now is to make some sample app using, let's say, Django and SQLite. I will have one prompt that will run most of the idea related to app. Okay, we will also point out cursor rules, and hopefully that should also work out with our whole project. Right now, first thing that we are going to do is we are going to open folder. Now within that folder, let's say I have to create this app, or say recipe app. Right, so this recipe app I can select. I will add dot cursor rules here. Use the below stack, and I can use Python, Django, then SQLite. Then third thing I'll be using is, let's say, Bootstrap CSS. You can also use Foundation or Tailwind CSS. Okay. Another thing, I can make use of rules here, like index HTML as landing page for project entry. Second thing, make sure to not delete the functional code for feature update. Third thing, we will also ask it to don't use the depreciated libraries and code. Right now, next thing, okay, so next thing would be to choose the cursor agent, and I will paste the prompt. So our prompt is recipe maker, or you can see recipe app, where we are going to store all the recipes. Right, so something like that, you can come up with idea and hit send for your prompt. Now let's see what the files it generates. Okay, it starts with setting up your framework. Okay, it will go through your framework, then some of the folders as well. Okay, once those are created, I think it will move towards the packages. I specifically mentioned about not using depreciated libraries and code. Right, so you may also notice that it will ask you to enter some of the recipes there. Okay, this will pop up for extension. Leave it as is, no need to update. Okay, now here you notice that it is creating these folders on the left hand side. We have recipes and recipe project. There will also be index.html, in which our landing page will be located. Right, and one more thing is the view. Okay, finally all the Django specific URLs and pages will be updated as well. notice it is also creating the templates. So some options you have to watch there. Also, if it does create some sort of a backend for your application, then make sure to also give those details while you are building. Okay, it will also create some errors, but compared to React and other frameworks, Django errors get fixed a lot quicker. It's relatively less headache compared to JavaScript based projects. Okay, so I'm paying attention to the amount of files that are being created. Right, they are making use of Bootstrap CSS, like I mentioned, and that appears within the templates as well. Recipe addition, deletion, removal, all within the prompt as well. Okay, finally it is generating some files to finish up the project. Okay, few more things you can do is you can also make it add images or icons which would populate the pages, right? Do this only when you see some sort of a prototype being completed. If not, just leave it as is and then incrementally add things like, let's say in the next step you add favicon or icon and then slowly change one component at a time. It will increase the number of queries, but the thing is your model won't be confused about where to place things. So one at a time would be a lot better approach. Like I said, I created the static media as well. Finally, you can see the folders that are being visible there. Once everything is done and it starts the command prompt, make sure to also accept all the changes. Okay, now one of the issue is migration, so I made sure to run the migration query before I go with the user queries. Like I say, notice that it is taking most of the commands and also using user data to register at least one super user for your backend. So this below specifically is for handling images, if I'm not wrong, right? So image uploads. Finally it will start the development server. Okay, as you can see it is there. Now my role is to just say accept all once everything is done, right? So once we say accept, I can go here and select this URL and open one of the tab, and here you see your recipe server, right? So currently we don't have anything, so let's click add new recipe. So here it says then category we can choose, or maybe later we can add categories. Ingredient, let's see, something this, something that, this, that, and so on. Copy and paste again. Then cooking time, like say 1 hour, servings 4. You can add images and save it. So here you need the category first, so go with categories. Currently we don't have any, so we need to create a way to add categories, right? So what I will do is, while the project is running, please add means to add the category for recipe, and this will also add one more item. Okay, will take a bit of time, but we'll generate that in view. Templates specifically for adding the recipe will be changed, so make sure that you also double verify while uploading. You can also ask AI to make certain field optional. For example, like say categories, instead you can ask it to give tags. Tags are a lot easier to work with, so you can give that. Okay, as you can see, the URLs are being updated. Okay, so now let me refresh. Notice that there is option to add categories, also add recipes. Right, so I will add category, and let's say name this as main course. Right, we'll just add this category. Now we can go back and then add recipe. Right, so here you can keep on adding instruction, this, then that, and then this. Cooking time, then serving, finally save. Now your recipe is added. You can go back to recipes and view this like this way. If you add image, that will be visible on the right. You can also make this as some sort of a Kanban field, and these words will be then drag and drop any way you want and extend the features. Right, so I'm in the recipe server with the help of cursor, then Django and Bootstrap.